This is the altcoin chart zoomed out on the weekly. Everyone is itching for this breakout move. Like, let's just get into it. Let's get into the bull market in a way that, if you've been around and across cycles, it's just in a way in which we're all used to, right? Like, let's just do this. Let's go. But let's not waste any more time. This is where many people, I would almost say the majority of crypto holders, this is where their mindset is right now. It's right there. And even if this were to happen, it would be amazing. But even if it were to happen, I want to show you something. We are way late. We are running behind by like 300 days. If you look at last cycle, right, when we had this really nice breakout move, like October, November, from all-time highs, it was just over 1,000 days, right? That move happening. Boom. That's why this time around, we were kind of thinking right around here was the move. It was going to start happening. It's not that easy. I'm happy it wasn't that easy. I really am. And if we look at, though, from last all-time high, how long it's been around over 1,300 days from that area. So we're like 300 days behind. People are worn out. People want the move. And you know what? It's like sitting around watching a pot of water boil. It's just like, it doesn't boil until you just look away just for a moment. And then boom, it starts bubbling. This feels like what it's like with crypto. So I want to go over this chart on the altcoin chart, and I really want to just bring a new perspective, a fresh perspective, because I think it'll be useful not just to you as you sit there watching this, but to me as I go through it, because this is data that I need to continually remind myself on. But what I really want to also talk about as we open the video is what's going on July 22nd. That's not even within crypto week. Right now we're in crypto week. So I want to break down the schedule for crypto week this week and discuss what's July 22nd, which is basically next week. So I saw this post. It was very helpful. And then we're going to get into the altcoin charts. I saw this post because I was like kind of wondering what is the actual layout for the week in terms of the schedule for crypto week. And here it is. Today was the House Rules Committee setting guidelines for the three bills, the Clarity, Anti-CBDC, and Genius. Now, tomorrow and Wednesday, Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll be debating all three bills. I'm sure a lot of drama in those debates. This is where it's going to get exciting. Thursday, final voting on Clarity and Anti-CBDC acts, and then Friday, final voting on the Genius Act. I will likely be covering both of those live. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe and turn notifications on. We're going to have some fun with that. But this is a very big deal, everybody, because this is, I've been covering crypto on this channel for almost 8 years. This is like the clarity, even the deregulation aspect of crypto. This is going to unlock so much money, so much capital, so much liquidity. And so this is a very macro thing. Don't just anticipate, hey, this is good stuff. We should be pumping to all-time highs. This is not how I've ever seen this space work. So let's go talk about July 22nd. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe on your way in, hit the like. And if you're not in our intelligence system, please check out our risk models, our exit planners, and all the other tools that we have back there. The link is below. We have 40% sale going on right now. I want to show you this clip. This is the founder of Custodio Bank. This is Caitlin Long. Listen to what she's saying about July 22nd digital assets report from the Treasury, SEC, CFTC, and others. This is something that I kind of forgot about, and I think many people have. Listen to what she says. One thing we haven't talked about yet, which is the report from the Treasury Department that's coming out on crypto on July 22nd, which is 180 days after the initial crypto executive order. Remember that crypto executive order? It's just like, it's been 180 days, and now this is due. And I am hearing rumors and believe very strongly that that is going to be a watershed event. And the stablecoin bill is out there in the mix as well. Those two things I think are going to massively change the dynamic in just the next few weeks. And I think a lot of folks who sat back thinking and hoping and so I was talking to Grok about what she's saying, and there's, speculation on the reports, the contents of the report, but here are some bullet points. Expansion of the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Haven't heard too much about that, right? So expansion of the strategic Bitcoin reserve, some maybe guidelines there, improve banking access for crypto firms, stable coins and broader regulatory framework, transparency on federal crypto holdings. And here, just look at this part. Overall, experts like Caitlin Long view this as a watershed event, as she said, that could unlock trillions in institutional capital by clarifying rules. There's so many different angles in which the trillions are getting set. And right now, the trillions are preparing. They're preparing behind the scenes right now for what is about to unlock in this crypto space. This is a brand new era for crypto that none of us have no idea what this is going to look like. But trillions come into this space. I hope we're prepared, is what I will say. I want to show you something. So here's the altcoin chart. We have to be very, very careful, first off, with saying, hey, it happened like this last cycle. Boom. Let's see it happen like this again this cycle, right? We've already seen something like the Bitcoin chart. That's already kind of destroyed that entire thought. Every Bitcoin bull market has been kind of like this very parabolic move, and then it's kind of the end. Right now, Bitcoin has been up, sideways for months, up, sideways for months, up, maybe again, sideways for months. Now altcoins are operating in their own little way. And the consolidation, by the way, on this altcoin chart, I know people want the breakout. You want your altcoin to go all-time high. I get it, okay? But look at that chart. That is some awesome looking structure and higher high, higher low growth in this market, $1.3 trillion market that is about to have trillions injected into it. From so many different angles, we have so many different narratives. And I'm not even talking about rates coming down. I'm not even talking about the money printers and quantitative tightening slowing down, right? And quantitative easing season. I'm not even talking about those things. This is what the chart looks like. I think the only reason to be negative or pessimistic about crypto right now is only because maybe you haven't had a 10x, a 20x, or a 50x or something like that. I don't see any other reason why not just to sit back, like cool your jets. We all need to learn patience and prepare. But I wanted to show you some data here. So if we look at this last cycle, for instance, and this is just to give some perspective on what's going on right now. And I'm taking right here, by the way, because I genuinely think it's not because I think the move will be the same. I just think we're going to enter a bull market for altcoins, right? I don't know what it'll look like. It might look like choppy and just weird. It doesn't have to be parabolic. But my point is, number one, I think we're in like this pre-bull market territory. I want to start with that. And if you go to our risk model for altcoin market cap, we built a risk model for the chart that we're looking at in this video. Look at it. There's not been a bull market. And right now it's sitting at around a 24, the altcoin market cap. And if you look at last cycle around September, October, look at it right there in the 20s, pre-bull market area. You can even go back here in like December 2016. There it is in the 20s, just pre-bull market area. This is where altcoins are right now. And we have risk models for all these altcoins back here, right? Here's XRP at a 59. We have Bitcoin back there. We have a bunch of altcoins, not all of them, but we have a bunch. So if you go to the total altcoin chart, that's number one. I think we're in there, right? We're at that very similar risk score, not only last cycle as we just saw, but again, if you go back 2 cycles ago, this is where we have a similar risk score as right there that you see there. So that's number one. And then number two is, if we look at this chart, yes, last cycle and even 2 cycles ago, just parabolic. Just, man, look at that. And if you break it down this way, it even looks crazier because it's like in this red box, there's 57 candles. Only 16 were red. Were red. So you might just be like, that was just so easy, right? It's just all green, majority green. But I want to show you something. And this will, I think, hopefully give perspective on right here, this little moment that we're within right now. Because, and I say this with maybe even anticipation that we're about to just kind of cruise back down. We're going to get a little dip in altcoins, maybe test these moving averages on the daily. People are be freaking out. I want to put that type of move into perspective even. And here's the perspective. Yes, 16 out of 57 candles are red. Majority are green. Last cycle bull market. It was great. But let's zoom in and let's look at what the daily chart looked like in this red box. Here's what the daily chart looked like in the red box. You have a completely different picture. Look at the amount of red candles, number one, but look at the dips. Look at this. And even back here, when it was just getting started, boom, 30% dip. There's another 20-some% dip. Actually, it's probably even more. It's like 29%. Here's a 34% dip. Look at the journey, right, in that bull market move. So it's easy to zoom out on the weekly and be like, man, it was like up only. It's all it was. It was up only. But if you really look at the journey, there were days where it was just massively red, and you could have sat here at any given time and just been like, ooh, that was it. That was the top. We're not going to get a bull market. It's game over, right? That was it. We're not going to get a bull market. It's game over. That's it. We can't even break last cycle's all-time high. That was it. Because that's kind of where we are right now. This is how I see it right now. This is what people are doing. We're kind of like, this is another fake out. That's it. And then if we start falling, especially, you'll see the negative comments. They get confident again, right? They get very not confident when we're in a move like this, potentially going to break out. But even the journey to break this previous swing high and all-time highs, it just might be a very volatile journey, right? And it could happen sooner or later. I do not know. But what I'm trying to do is just draw some perspective into where we are, just not only in the cycle, how far we've come from even the bear market lows, from just an industry perspective. This was FTX collapsing, and Celsius, SEC, just trying to completely just demolish crypto, bear market lows. And here we are. We're in a healthy higher high, higher low with just all this awesome macro stuff. Institutions are coming on board. The space is getting ready to just flood with innovation because of deregulation. And this is where we are right now. This is a higher high, higher low environment of this brand new $1 trillion space that is getting ready to onboard trillions. And so the daily journey could be very volatile. This is crypto, right? And it's a very new space. But that's okay. Even if you go look at last cycle on the daily chart, it was volatile then too. Let's embrace that. Let's kind of remember that's just part of it. You're not going to have a green candle every single day, even when the bull market starts. That's really a really big point I wanted to make. Here's a bull market for altcoins. It wasn't a green candle every single day. In fact, it's likely the opposite. So whether the bull market for altcoins starts now or if it starts over here in January 2026, I don't know. It's not going to be a green candle every day. So just get used to the volatility. But I wanted to paint some perspective on these charts, everybody, and just kind of go over altcoins as they take a break. Because I think as I look around, I do think people are like, oh no, I thought this was it. I thought this was the move. What happened? Well, it's not going to just be green candle, all-time high, like by the end of the month. Let's watch these things. Let's continue to track these markets. It's what we've been doing. And it's been almost the same, just awesome structure in play. We capitulate high fear environments over and over, and they've just been opportunity zones. As all the people are throwing all this negativity in my comments, it's only just been accumulation and opportunity zones. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. So these are my thoughts today, everybody. I wanted to share it with you. I appreciate you watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Please smash that like button. And if you're not in our intelligence system, here are some of our risk models. We have an exit planner back here. We have on-chain metrics back here. And you can mess around with all of this stuff and start strategizing, building your plan. So appreciate all of you for just being here, sticking around through even the boring times. I will see you in the next video. God bless.